mean, I love your artwork. We kind of got a glimpse of it here on the video camera with Wonder Woman, with your Wolverines, and scary
different styles. So, I mean, represented on this board are kind of styles across the board. Scary Godmother, like Wolverine, because like I said, I had loved the X-Men. I have Beast of Burden prints out here, Scary Godmother. So a lot of different styles.
And one of your main works, I think, that everyone kind of attributes to is the Sandman. And I mean, that just blew me away. I saw some images and I saw the style.
Sandman art right here.
Exactly. Yeah, even better. But it just blows my mind that you're not focused on one particular style. You're kind of all you branch out and you grab certain things that really attribute to the.
That's really. I went to the American Academy of Art here in Chicago. Alex Ross is also an alumni, and Mitch O'Connell and Bill Reinhold and some other comic book artists. But one of the things that school teaches you, and I never realized that that's the way my brain has worked now while I've been working in comics. Because when I can sit down and draw a portrait of you and make it very realistic. I can also make it very cartoony. I can paint you in watercolor, or I can do a charcoal drawing of you. But it's how, that depends on how I feel about how I would like to draw you. When I get hired to do a job, like my school was teaching the people who went to the academy to be an illustrator, and their job was done if you got a bunch of jobs, because your portfolio was supposed to be filled with a lot of different styles of art, because you were going to the newspaper or an advertising agency or a design house and you were looking for freelance illustration, and it was their job was to teach you, like, today they need 5 black and white drawings of soup cans to put in the circular that goes in the newspaper so you can cut coupons out. So you have to go, I can do that, so you can get that job. Or you can do a portrait of someone, or you're going to do marker renderings for storyboards. So that was all good and well. I did all those assignments, but it wasn't until I started working on Death at Death's Door that I realized that, because Karen Berger had called me up at one point and asked me, did I think I could do a comic book that was like Japanese style, Japanese influence? Could I write and draw a Sandman comic that looked like that? And my first answer was sure. And she goes, great, okay, well, get us a story. Neil said he thought you could do it, and you're the only person that he wants to try, and other people have been asking, and they've actually even said that they thought you could do it. I was like, oh, wow, that's really flattering. And then I hung up the phone and go, wow, I sure hope I can pull that off. I know I'm physically able to do it, but I've never really tried very hard. I mean, I've copied drawings before. It's like, I wonder if I can sustain that for 192 pages. But then I realized, as I started doing it, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is the thing that school taught me. And I just happen to be in the comic book industry. So when people ask me, why does your style change? It's not that I'm ever making a conscious decision. When I'm working on Sandman, that's the style that comes out when I'm drawing Sandman. When I'm working on Wonder Woman, the style that comes out for Wonder Woman is what is appropriate to that. When I did Scary Godmother, I didn't sit down and think, oh, I'm going to draw something that looks completely different than any of the other things that I've drawn. It's like, I had this idea for this story and this character, and when I started to sketch out what I thought she should look like, that's the way it came out. So, and Beast of Burden, I didn't say, well, I knew it was going to be watercolor, because now that seems to be my main focus, is to do like fully painted comics. Mike Mignola has called them, I cartoon with paint, and I really like how that sounds. So that's kind of the way I think I'm going. But I don't ever sit down and make a plan that now I shall render this in this manner. It just starts happening that way, and it keeps going until I'm done with the story. So if I'm done with, this illustration of Delirium, and then I want to go and do a Wolverine, that Wolverine's not going to look like that Delirium, and it's not in the same style, and he's not going to look like a Scary Godmother style. It's going to be however it is that I draw, or that Wolverine feels like coming out on the page. So, it's nothing I plan. but I like kind of now that it happens.
Well, that keeps you sporadic, that keeps you interesting, and it brings a whole new level of people that are really interested in the comic aspects to your other styles, not necessarily, one particular thing that many are famous for.
But I mean, so many people are known for their style. It's like if Jeff Darrow, who's over there, or Mike Mignola, when you hire them, you know what you're going to get. And I think right now, if people are going to hire me for something, they know they're going to get a painted comic. And it might be cartoony, realistic. It's not going to be photorealistic like Alex Ross, but it's not going to be hyper cartoony like, like maybe Batman Adventures or something like that, where it's really, really stylized. But it will look realistic enough, but I think fanciful enough that that it does have some kind of whimsy and maybe a little bit more like lightheartedness than something else. I mean, I can do dark things too. It's just so I think my style is more like kind of a complete package of writing and illustrating.
You definitely have that, and I don't want to take up much more of your time. You've been a true pleasure. Your fans are here, and I'm,
Nice. It looks like I got pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Getting some good shots. But C2E2 is an inaugural convention in downtown Chicago, full of the art, full of the architecture that Chicago has to offer, and
Mother Nature really gave us a break this weekend. She usually likes to beat us down in April when the rest of the country's got beautiful spring weather. We're usually getting sleeted on, and it's gray and it's 30 or something, or it looks nice out, but you can't go outside because it is sleeting and horrible. But we got nice weather and blue sky, and everything is flowering this weekend, all the trees and the flowers, so it's like the city is really representing. So
it's truly beautiful. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've done such amazing work. But one question I want to finally ask you is, C2E2, once the lights shut down, once you pack up everything in your Jill Thompson package here.
Yeah. I'm only hauling it in bunches.
What are you going to personally take from your experiences here at this convention? Just that I love comics. I love my comic book family. The people that do the same type of thing as me, the type of thing we love. Everybody is, proud enough to come out and display their wares, and people are interested in what we have to do. Hopefully bring a lot of new readers or people that are interested in this, like pop culture and different types of stories. So it's like I want the show to be really successful, just because I want the industry to grow, and I want everybody that's standing on that side of the table to love comics as much as I do. And that's kind of what I bring back from nearly every show. But this one just is like, it's a beautiful location. I want it to be a destination convention for people. I really like the idea that there are more regional conventions happening that are like medium to larger size that are a big draw. Because I think it's great for the industry. Well, thank you very much, Jill. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure talking with you. And thank you very much. And your website?
I really don't have a website so much. I have one that's I'm working on a website, but I'm a constant Twitterer. So if you want to follow me, I'm the Jill Thompson on Twitter, and you can also friend me on Facebook. And like I say, both of those things are they're the word balloon to the comic book page that is my day. You can see or not want to see what I'm thinking of at every moment. But I post a lot of art and photographs, like things that delight me and weird stuff that I see, and sometimes I cuss.
Thanks a lot, Jill. I really appreciate it.
And you're still coming back to hear more of me jibber jabbering.
Oh,
so
of course.
I guess I'm not that boring.
No. To say you're boring is I can't even put that in the same sentence with you there. So
I like how that sounds.